Hi, welcome on this fine rainy day to my bullet journal spread for May. What a perfect start to spring, isn't it? As you can see, theme for this month is music. And clearly I did not make it easy on myself by deciding to draw 6 different freehand circles across the page. But it's okay. Vinyl is so classic that I think it'll be worth it. So, the inspiration for this is actually the Airbnb that we're currently renting. They have a beautiful vinyl collection here, and we've been playing some of the records, and it's so nice to hear that authentic old-timey crackle in person and not on Spotify recordings. And I think to retain the classicness and simplicity, I want to stick to this red and black with some gold accents color palette. As I'm doing this, I'm having to constantly remind myself that it's not about making the perfect circles because I'd be here literally all day. It's just about trying to emulate the feeling and trying to get as close as possible and not entirely messing it up. The nice thing about using these tumble brush markers is there's an inherent shadow built into the strokes, so I don't have to go back in and try to create texture or anything. The lines kind of do it as I go along, which is really cool. Also, starting with a little red outline for this intersection and then filling out the black just makes it so much easier to cover up any messes the red might make. And taking some words from our man Victor Hugo. Music expresses that which cannot be put into words and that which cannot remain silent. I love that. So a couple spreads ago, my best friend asked me, do you always make every spread this intricate and designy, essentially? And I think the answer is yes, actually. I don't think I start out with the intention of, oh, I need to make this really design heavy or complicated or anything. It kind of just happens because I spend so much of my bullet journal time living in the feeling that the spread creates, and I think a lot of this is subconscious. I want to invest time in creating it because that's also kind of a meditative space for me. But no, you can absolutely modify all of these themes to be much easier and much less time consuming depending on how you want to play it. Ha, get it? Play it like a record. Whew, that was a lot of circles, but looks very cute. So this is supposed to be a cable, one that you likely plug into an amp or something like that. So just making a tiny electrical plug at the end and kind of outlining the red with black for extra dramatic flair. Whew, so glad that line came out straight because I would have lost my shit if it hadn't. I used to try to finesse the lines that get a little messed up, but I think over the past few spreads I've kind of just realized that it's better to just let them be, because if you try to thicken the line, it just ends up looking way worse than it did when it was slightly squigglier. Okay, I'm tempted to fill in this spot, but I think I should just leave it be. Get ready for the most anatomically and structurally correct guitar you have ever seen. I mean, honestly, at this point, I should just apply to Fender or Yamaha for product design, because look at this guitar. Because if you've seen some of my older spreads, I used to try having the habit tracker also match some kind of design element from the theme, but over the past few years this has become my go-to layout because it's just so simple and I need that for a habit tracker. If it's too design heavy, I just tend to end up leaving it till maybe the weekend or whenever I have a little more time, because I need to be more careful about it so that I'm not messing up the design, which is kind of stupid for a habit tracker, you know? I love drop shadowing these boxes with one of the other colors in the theme, because otherwise the spread is kind of removed from the rest of the theme for the month, but bringing back some of the color into this grid layout just ties it all nicely together. For the past few months after the trackers, I was using a gratitude and affirmations page, but I've decided to move that to my actual writing heavy journal and keep this bullet journal specific only to planning, scheduling, and things like that. Getting some 16th note representation. Alright, spontaneous decision to take this to the end of the page. This quote page was kind of created on a whim, not gonna lie. It's kind of like a motivation to myself, because sometimes I'm practicing music and it feels like I'm getting nowhere, but it's a gradual process. I mean, kind of feels like that with life too sometimes, doesn't it? Getting some life help philosophy in there. So that brings us to the weekly spread. This particular weekly spread layout has honestly been the only thing that's worked for me when I bullet journal, so I kind of don't want to change it right now. The thing I really love about this layout is there's still some character to it because of the little symbols in the top left corner, but the rest of it is so simple and minimalist with just the day written on top that it kind of gives you room to breathe, if that makes sense. This month I want to try something new by giving the weekend its own little symbol. So weekdays are going to have the little piano and weekends will have the musical notes, because I've kind of been craving some more structure in terms of how I plan the week, and I want 2 days separated out just to be able to create some semblance of regularity, because right now, honestly, there is none. So that's that. This is such a fun spread. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope some really cool music inspires you this month.